Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Or if you're new here, welcome to another edition of Kingly Conversations, man. And this week, we got another hot one for you. But before we get into all of that, of course, those got some shout-outs.
Hey, yo, what up? You know what time it is. Just want to shout out to all of the women out there, man. Happy Women's History Month, man. We see you, we appreciate you, and we love you. Thank you. And thank you to all the listeners.
And to go along with that, this week, we're getting into a topic called the women in your life. So strap in. Let the Kings talk about it. Welcome back to another edition of Kingly Conversations, man. And of course, as I am every single week, I'm Alan.
Good afternoon. This is your boy Twine, a.k.a. Twin. Ask me about my podcast, man. You know what time it is. Bam, bam, bam.
It's your friend, your mentor, Calvin D. Hill.
What up, gentlemen? How y'all feeling today?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man.
Good. All right, so we have a topic today, and I think this is Calvin's topic.
Yes.
It is? It is. Okay.
Yes, this is my topic. And we're talking about women in your life. Women in your life. And I always want to start positively. What are some, or who are some women that impacted you positively? And then give 2 reasons why, if you can.
Go ahead and start.
All right, I'll start with my mama. Oh, I always start with my mama. So my mother is the first woman in my life to impact me positively in the way she took care of us as kids. Mm-hmm. The way she taught us out of love and not
malice.
Yeah, not malice. Not malice. She really did it out of nurturing, because she's a natural teacher. She's an excellent teacher. She was a school teacher, Sunday school teacher. So she actually took time to explain a lot of things to us rather than just saying, hey, this is how it is. It's going to be like this. Get over it.
My way to highway.
Yeah, that was not my mom. My mom. She explained a lot of things. And she actually is the reason I communicate the way I do, because she taught me to kind of talk feelings out, express yourself, don't be afraid to try things. And also the way she impacted me, she was the fighter. She's the tough one. She's the
really?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I ain't saying my mom was a hood rat when she grew up, but she used to throw hands out there in Norfolk on 27th.
What's happening out there?
She was out there on 27th Street throwing hands. But that's because she had 5 brothers. So she grew up 5 brothers and 1 other sister. So yeah. My mom, man. How about y'all?
So you said 2?
Yeah, get 2.
Okay, I'll give 1, and then we can go around.
Yeah,
all right, Alan, what you got, man?
Well, I mean, the first woman I knew was my mother, so I could give a lot of reasons. I mean, you got work ethic, you got, because at the time, certainly, and doing something outside of what people thought was the norm, because for those that don't know, my mother was an Army officer, and in the 80s, that was not common. 70s and 80s, that really was not common at all. So
to have a black woman,
yeah, as an officer in any branch of the service, but certainly the Army. And sure, I give you some.
Give us some of that.
But of course, and so that was one of the things, was just to not worry about barriers, that even if there was a barrier, to still go for the things that you wanted to go for. If there was something you wanted to do, go for it. Doesn't mean it was always going to work out, but sometimes it will. So that was certainly one thing, since we started with mothers.
Yeah, well, it didn't have to be a mother, but
was the
like
first
you said,
woman- first woman I would've known.
no, that positively impacted you because everybody's mother didn't have that
I get
same energy.
I understand that.
So
I don't have that story.
I don't either. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say, since y'all talking about mothers, I will say that Pamela Richardson, and you ask me why, on a positive note, she brought me into this world.
Very good.
Next.
Oh my God. All right, here we go. 2 reasons. Two reasons.
Two reasons?
Positives.
Two positives
Yeah,
for that.
2 positives. It don't have to be the same woman. It could be a different woman. But women, the point of it is
No, because y'all did one.
I did one, right? So I was giving everybody a chance to do one. Then I was going to give another one.
Okay, go ahead and give another one.
No, you still got it, sir. You still got it, sir.
I got nothing.
Yes, you do.
What?
You got something. Go ahead.
For that, for one I
Positive
just
women.
mentioned,
Yes, you have.
I had to say 2 positive things.
Not about the same person.
It don't have to be about the same person. It could be 2.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this, man?
We gonna do this today.
So no. Listen, listen. Let's pause for a second because you both individually did one, okay? And
No,
I thought,
I gave 2 different reasons.
2 different reasons
for the one.
For the one.
okay. See, it's a miscommunication. I didn't
right.
understand because
All right.
I thought we were doing 2 for each one,
Positive
and then
women. All right.
Okay.
And then I said give 2 positive things
Uh-huh.
that impacted you.
Oh, it was a positive. Oh, women. Oh, okay. All right.
It
good.
don't have to be the same woman.
All right,
It
I
don't
just
have to
did-
be. But
I
you
didn't
can-
under-
you-
I
you-
did
you
not
have
understand.
interacted with a multiple.
I get it.
Yeah, right. So here we go. So now, go ahead.
So another positive influence
There you
from
go.
a woman
There you go.
is being taught compassion.
Who taught you that?
Ashley, if you're listening, I love you.
There you go. All right, good. See,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here we
I didn't
go.
understand which. You know what? Let's just move on.
Let's move on. Let's move on since we got the positive. Negative. All right.
I'm ready.
Women that women that negatively impacted your life. Now, if Antoine Boyd was up here, he would have a lovely time right here.
Speaking of, weren't we supposed to do a show with him?
Yes, we were, but you have to follow through, people. You have to follow through.
All right, so
Or don't.
All right,
You don't
go
have
ahead. Go ahead.
no. You started this, sir. So
Go-
you're going
go
to
ahead.
start this one too.
All right, negative. All right,
It's
so
your turn.
women have negatively impacted me.
I can't think of nothing.
No, I'm trying to think of how to say it. I'm trying to think of the right way.
Just
Well,
say
I'm
it.
gonna go first. I don't have.
All right. Oh, you don't have none?
I don't have none.
Come on. Every woman you have ever dealt with has positively impacted
Who
you.
we talking about, man? Look at him.
No, ain't no
Look
way.
at- look
Ain't
at
no.
him.
I don't buy.
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen,
I don't
if
buy
you're on
it.
the
Nope,
video
I ain't
right now, if
buying
you're
it.
watching on
I'm not buy-
YouTube,
Nope, not
look
on
at this
duty.
man.
Not
Huh?
on duty. Not on duty.
No,
Not
the
on
man
duty.
said he ain't got nothing.
No.
I don't.
Some people. Every interaction with people is not always positive. And you cannot tell me you have been on the earth for 43 years.
That doesn't mean they negatively impacted my life.
Ah,
Because if you start, if I could see you were gonna go down that road, you were no longer in my life.
who we talking about?
So
man?
he cut him off. That's what you're saying.
I didn't cut him off. I held you out here. You at arm's
okay.
length.
Okay.
He didn't give them an opportunity to negatively
Because he saw
impact his life.
You saw that what you're saying.
I evaluate all of them. All of. I evaluate all my relationships, and I'm like, oh, just like I remember. This had nothing to do with women, but so I used to hang. There were some relatives I used to hang with a lot, and then they started getting into stuff, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. So it's, and my mother recognized it because she was like, all of a sudden you just stopped hanging with them. Yep. And years later, I was like, this is why. Because I could see you going in the direction I was unwilling to go.
All right.
And so but I've always been there. I think part of the reason it's easier for me to be that way is because I moved so much. So
you didn't have that.
So I didn't have that.
deep connection with.
I didn't have the we going to jail together connection.
Okay.
So technically, he's right. He doesn't have any.
Because
So
I didn't.
all right. Okay.
So
Okay,
whether I had
so-
deep relationships or not, I'm not going to allow you to make me go to ruin because of something you want to do.
So I have to think of a better question then.
Yes.
To show how.
So yes, generally my interactions are going to be
So you
of
keep
the positive nature.
So I okay.
So I think a better question would be, what negative? No, that's not. That's still.
That's still not, because I know what you're about to say. That's still not, and that wouldn't do it. That wouldn't get it on
Negative
his end.
experiences?
So negative experience. Then that's the best you can do in that situation, because he's not saying that they impacted my life to the point where I live by this rule now. Like I deal this way because of this interaction with this person. But some people do. That's what the point. That's why I was trying to use the question that, okay, this because of
Why
this
do
person.
you do this because of that interaction?
Right. This positive interaction with my mother, this positive interaction with this person, this positive interaction caused my life to move on this way.
Got it.
But I didn't see it negatively, because I have two, but they were young, middle school, high school. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened for me, the negative one. Mm-hmm. I was so-called, this is middle school people, real young. I was so-called dating a girl. This was my girlfriend. Yeah, but you're a kid, man. You don't know no better. But anyway, I was going with her. And one of my friends came and told me that she wanted to talk to him.
Okay.
And so what I did, I set him up in front of her, and I came and snuck around the back side of the hall and stood behind her. And I told him to go talk to her and say, hey, well, we can go out. And she fell for it. And she told him, yeah, I'll go out with you. I got to break up with Calvin. And I was standing behind her. And so that impacted me.
So you calling her a thotty?
Well, they didn't call him that back in the day, but.
What grade was you in?
It was like 7th grade.
Thotty.
7th grade, man. Don't none of that stuff count.
So this
yes, it does.
But it impacted me on the way I dealt. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So that's probably why, because you got in 5th grade and 6th grade I was in one school. Mm-hmm. In 7th grade, midway through the year, I went to a different school.
Right.
So now the school that I went to, I wasn't messing with none of them people there. Like, so there was the only possibility, because it was in the country and all them girls wanted to have babies. I'm like, I'm in 7th grade. I ain't trying to have no baby.
What in the world?
Like, so
say 7th grade.
Can I say it?
Thotties.
No.
You ain't gonna negatively impact me.
Trying to give up the applause.
now.
No, this is 1980 something, man. Go ahead.
No, this was 93.
Yep.
92, 93-ish.
Jeez.
Yep.
Right.
So, and they was, already, that was their whole deal, they sneaking out.
One
doing
negative,
these,
experience I can recall that broke a young man's heart in middle school. Okay, I'm gonna take you back. Picture the scene. I'm just joking. So there was an experience where a female, we were supposed to be going together. We were supposed to be dating, and ended up. She just did somebody else, like just gave up the cookies, and then somebody came back and told me about it. So I was like, word? Let me have a conversation and admitted to it. No shame. I was like, oh, okay. Yep.
Roger that.
I'm tracking now.
Hi, sir.
So that I think that definitely did affect my way of trusting and things of that nature. So that's one that I can recall.
Right. There you go. Okay. So now give one more positive.
I gave 2 already. He trying to do me, y'all. He trying to get at me today. I don't know what it is. It must be that coffee he drinking. He is really trying to get at me today.
That new blend.
He got that new blend. I got 6 instead of 4 sugars. A positive?
Right, so I'll give you a random positive. I'll give you another random positive.
All right.
There's a young lady named Jessica. Absolute sweetheart. Craziest, weirdest person in the world, because she's always nice.
Uh-huh.
Like always in a pleasant mood. Even her anger,
Was pleasant?
It's weird to me. It's very weird to me. Because you fire hot mad. Like you just got cussed out. And even in your anger, you are still nice. And you could tell, like, she's mad, but her mad was just, it was crazy.
She won't mad.
No, mad.
Oh.
But it's so ingrained in her to be nice that she can't even be be mean to me.
Yeah.
But it was strange.
So you was dating this young lady?
No, I said impacted.
Oh, impacted you. Oh, as far as how she was, how her demeanor was, how she carried herself, and how nice she was.
Yeah.
So what happened?
That's what it was.
No, how did it impact you?
Because I saw her level of niceness. That's what people expect me as a Christian. What do you call it? Like to call Christians what? Yeah, that's what they expect.
Oh Lord,
right? That's what they expect from me. That's what people expect you to be. You go to church, or
didn't
you
we
do
talk
this,
about this already?
No.
How people perceive?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Okay,
maybe. But again, it was impactful to me that it wasn't in her. To me, in my opinion, to be that level of mean.
So did you try to push her buttons to see if you can?
No, it just, like I said, I
Okay.
just saw it and it stuck. I was like, dang, Calvin, you can't be like that.
That's why I asked you what happened, because
she got cussed out. She got cussed clean out. A supervisor cussed her out. I mean, I'm sitting here looking like, nah, bro.
Can't be me.
Nah, I got to go say something to him for this one.
Yeah.
I can't even.
Can't let it slide.
No, I can't let that slide. No.
Got it. So you spoke up for
Yeah,
her, on her behalf?
Yeah, I had to because I don't like that kind of business.
Okay. Well, good for you.
No, that ain't good.
Why is it not good? What do you mean?
Let's move on.
Is that when
Let's
you had
move on.
to do a teachable moment?
Let's move on.
Is that another teachable moment? Look here, player.
Teachable moments.
Back on topic, man.
Yeah.
Back on topic.
All right, so that's an impact. Jessica, she was a positive impact for me.
Okay, cool. So let's see another positive impact. I will say that I don't know, man. Everything is positive in my life right now as far as a woman. I mean, there was some when I was a kid outside of the immediate household. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it don't got to be in your house.
Yeah. So majority of the stuff came when I was young outside the household. Miss Anderson, she was very impactful because she was a sweet lady, still is a sweet lady. Miss Stoney, she was cool too. She helped me to understand a different way of thinking because I was sheltered majority of my youth. So when I went to her, she had such an open, a free mindset that she kind of helped me understand things outside of what I was being shown. So turn into a rebel against what I was being taught, if that makes sense. So, you know, shout out to her, Miss Stoney. Also Ashley, she's taught me a lot in regards of how to deal with children, how to be more patient. Yeah, all that good stuff. Organization as well. Spreadsheets, financial stuff, man. I'm definitely a positive impact.
Ain't that nice?
Now, back to this negative impact. Anyway,
Go ahead,
Alan, what you got, man?
So there was in 6th grade, there was a lady. My teacher at the time was a lady named Hattie Thomas.
Hattie Thomas.
Hattie.
Patty?
Hattie. That's one of the old lady names.
Hattie.
You ain't lying, Hattie.
She
If
was.
your name is Hattie out there, no disrespect.
We love you, Hattie.
She was probably
We love
in her,
you.
even then she was probably in her 60s at the time, maybe 50s, but she certainly had salt and pepper hair, so she was more than
Seasoned.
likely, yeah, she was seasoned for sure. And but she was, prior to that, even though I had grown up in the households that I grew up in, she wanted to make sure that I was proud of who I was.
I'm black and I'm proud.
But prior to that, that had not been the environment of the school that I was in. So she was the one that always said, always, no matter what, always hold your head up high. No matter what, always do this. Nobody's better than you. You're not better than nobody, but nobody's better than you either. And so those were, lessons that I always took. So, teachers are important, man.
Very
it's important for teachers to pour into their students.
That's true.
Positively.
Positively.
I got a negative teacher once you finish?
Oh, I'm sure that I probably, if I remember him, I'm
Really?
sure I
That
probably
bad?
got one.
Oh, horrible.
But so that's why, so Hattie Thomas is always, I mean, no matter what goes on in my life, she'll probably always be in a testimony or two.
That's what's up, man.
Because
Shout
prior
out.
to that, I used to, as a 12-year-old walking around with your head down, looking at the ground, hold your head up high. No, don't do that. You come from kings and queens. There's no reason for you to be walking around like this. So shout out to Hattie Thomas.
Hey, shout out to Hattie, man. Out here raising kings and
Rest
queens.
in power, as they say these days.
Yeah, I like it. You say you had a negative
My son
for a teacher?
Yeah, my son's first grade teacher.
What about him?
And there's a very young developmental.
First of all, what's her name? I want to know her name. Let's not do that. I'm just joking. Don't do
Let's
that.
not do that. I only
We
said
ain't
Hattie
doing
that.
Thomas' name because I know she
Yeah,
She was
she's
positive.
right. No,
Yeah, let's not do that.
No,
But
this
actually,
lady.
she's deceased. If she was,
She was horrible. She was, yeah, horrible, straight up.
I
horrible.
mean, darn it.
I mean, no,
listening.
trash. She trash. Absolute disgusting.
that's great.
Should
I'm
have
listening.
retired.
A long time ago?
Yeah, she was in school when I was in school.
Dang.
She was a first grade teacher when I was going through first grade. And she should have gave it up because her patience for kids, as you get older, your patience for kids isn't the same. And this lady had, hollering, screaming the whole time.
No, don't do that.
It was
What you mean hollering and screaming the whole
hollering.
time? But see,
But
her
that
era
old school,
and
right?
when she was teaching, that's how it was.
So
Right.
but my middle son is not the type to handle yelling well.
you tell him I said, suck it up, buttercup.
I do, but at the
just
same
joking.
time, you have to know who you're dealing with. So I had to learn to deal with him from a nurturing standpoint and talk to him differently to get the results I wanted from him.
Okay, so
Now, every teacher isn't like that, and every
Okay.
teacher isn't going to take the time to understand each individual student.
Right.
I know that. So I failed as a parent by not making sure he was in the right class with the right style of teacher that would benefit him the most. That's
Gotcha.
an important note for all parents. So this teacher, though, was an absolute tyrant to all the kids. She just screamed and hollered and
she just called the.
yeah, I did. I did. I ain't stutter. Yeah, I didn't stutter.
I'm listening. Go
And
ahead. I like it.
It's almost a PTSD when your kid can't go to school now because of that teacher.
No way.
Yeah, but that happens a lot to a lot of African American students, especially the males. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just talking from my experience. That's not all teachers in all places, but
I'm just
maybe
talking
you
about
can
my
relate.
experiences. I'm just talking about my experiences.
Yeah, maybe you can relate.
So before we move on, there was a teacher. She was my math teacher, and I don't remember her name, but I do recall her saying that my writing and how I write was garbage, trash.
Yeah, see,
So positive and negative, because when she said it at the time, I felt a certain type of way, in which made me write better. So now when people see my writing, it's like, oh man, you write good for a dude, and I'm like, yo, what does that mean? First of all,
no, it's a thing.
so,
people say it.
but shout out to that student, my peer that was sitting next to me, because she said it out loud in front of the whole class. It wasn't a one-on-one consultation. She was like, yo, whose paper is this? It's trash. Your writing is trash. I can't understand your twos, blah, blah, blah. She was very meticulous about things. So the student that was next to me, my peer that was next to me, she was like, you know what? You might be a doctor. That looks like a doctor's signature.
Oh,
I was like, well, thank you.
oh,
But that didn't stop me from going and getting better with and how I wrote. But
Right.
that's it. That's all I got for that, man.
all right. So communication styles between the two.
Okay.
And it's
Between the two?
open-ended, yeah,
As
between
far as
men
between
and
the-
women. And how do you communicate with women in general? I say general. Just use it general. Is it the same as you deal with all men or anybody else? Is it slightly different? Are you deliberate about your communication?
I'll tell you what. Go ahead, Alan. You got it.
So, and listen, I know that
Listen.
I know that I'm a different breed. I realize that. I know that I'm not the normal one. But I talk to everybody different. I try to talk to everybody. I learned something a long time ago, and it comes from a sales course I took that was called the Rainbow Rule, and that because everybody knows the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated. But the rainbow rule goes a step further and says treat people how they want to be treated. And so I've always, since learning that, I've always tried to figure out a person's personality and then deal with them in the way that they need to be dealt with. And for me, it works out. I mean, because people always, I use it a lot at work because, people always talk about like people that are micromanagers and so forth. But I'm always going to figure out, okay, how can I work within the confines of these boundaries and get the best experience possible? So in my case, I'd had a micromanager years ago. I just overshared, which is not normal for me to overshare. But every time I was like Cool Hand Luke, putting them on, boss, taking them off, boss, putting them on, boss, taking the leak, boss. Mm-hmm. And after about, 90 days or so of that, they didn't ask me no more questions ever.
Right.
They didn't even ask after. Like, even after I stopped doing it, they didn't. I was like, oh, okay, I know they good. Okay,
right.
Great. We done with that. Moving right along. So yes, I talk to everybody differently based on the relationship that I have with that person. If I don't have a relationship with you, you get the same generic everything. I don't deal with men and women differently if I don't have a relationship with you.
I second that motion.
Fair enough.
But I know I'm not normal. I'm not the normal one because I don't have preconceived notions over what a man or a woman is or is supposed to be. So I just deal with you as a human first, and then you teach me how to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
I get with the you teach me how to deal with you. I agree with that part. I deal with women differently than I deal with men. I do.
I don't.
I do. Because
So
I don't
mean?
interact. I'm about to tell you.
does that
That's exactly what I'm about to tell you. I don't interact the same level as I would a man as a woman. I just don't. I don't take the time to really deal with, like, I'll deal with men as, like, we go out, we're going to hang out deliberately on all the time, like, consciously.
We're talking about
But
communication.
Well, right, I'm tying it in because even the way I talk to women is very, like you said, surface level.
Mm-hmm.
It's surface level for the most part. I don't deal with women on the point of I'm trying to get to know you.
Was it? Yeah, that'd be different because I do.
But I don't try to get. But I would try to get to know some guys because
I don't.
That's the difference.
Like,
But I do that as a somewhat of a safeguard, but at the same time it's like I could chill out with a guy. I can go hang out, and in communication we talk the same. We kind of have the same language. We have the same interests. So I talk a little more directly with guys than I do with women. I don't share this very direct feelings with women. I don't. I share direct feelings with men in my communication. Like, I could say it very cut, dry, very plain, callous, if you want to put it, but I don't do the same thing with women.
Well, in regards to communication,
really, that's...
Why are you laughing? Wait, I got it. What's funny?
Because he's talking about, share your feelings. Like, I don't share my feelings with
I was about to say, I don't really share my feelings like that.
There's one person that gets my feelings. Jenny, that's it. Everybody else, you get the portions that I allow you to
see,
and some of that,
right.
So,
but as like I said, for me, I'll talk more to a guy about some detail, but I don't have to feel. I feel like I don't have to sugarcoat. What I'm talking to
anyway. See, I don't feel like that.
I don't really sugarcoat when it comes to male or female in communication. That would have been rough. Yeah, so when it comes to that, like Alan said, you show me how to deal with you and communicate with you. So if you are open in communication, I'm open in communication as well. But as far as my experiences, I'll share that and we'll communicate that. But when it comes to feelings, I sometimes do share my feelings. I do. It doesn't matter if male or female because for me it's about sharing experiences. So if I share my experience with you, you share your experience with me. I feel as if I can learn something from your experience, and that's why when I communicate with male or female, it's the same with me. Like if I find somebody intriguing or a situation intriguing, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to probe to see, so how did you deal with that? Or how did you overcome blah blah blah? So I can get a better understanding, so I can grow. So that's how I deal with it. So when it comes to communicate when it comes to communication, I'm good with doing so.
I do more,
but I don't do it with everybody though.
Right. No, I get that part.
I'm very selective.
I get that part.
Yeah.
But even with your spouse.
Oh, she gets
Like-
all the communication. She gets the raw format. Everybody else is tapered because I can't share with so much.
I guess I'm opposite then.
Might be.
I'm opposite.
Yeah, I can't
would
give
do it-
you.
I would do it the other way. I'm the other way around.
Yeah, if you're not Ashley, I can't give you 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's not ever going to happen because I feel as if my best friend is Ashley, so therefore my communication with her is more. It's more open. It's more when I can communicate because I do have some issues, but when I can communicate, she is the one I
We gonna get a show
Open
on
and
dealing with
communicate
that best friend thing because again. Okay, let me ask you then because I'll be the odd guy. Is Janine your best friend?
Yep.
Dang.
What? What is that?
Hey man, Angie gonna be mad when she hear this.
Oh my God.
No, we've been talking about this for months. Like I told her, you ain't my best friend. You my wife. Y'all, look, she gonna be mad with me because both of y'all said, "Yeah, that's your best friend."
if you ask Ashley who's her best friend, she would
gonna
say me.
but Angie says the same thing.
Yeah.
She said I am, but then I tell her, no, you're not my best friend. You my wife.
I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about
communication,
and we were talking about women in your life. So I'm gonna take a segue right here
It's
and
the
ask
same
this
thing.
man
It's the same thing.
question
All this
and
go together.
why
Go ahead.
you think your wife is not your best friend.
But that whole compartmentalized mentality that I have, live everything in a section. Mm-hmm. That's why.
So my next question, follow-up question is, who is your best friend?
I ain't got one.
I don't get it.
I don't either. I have to say that.
That is tough. Angie, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you, man. What's happening?
We talked about this. Me and Angie talked about this so many times. And it's because of the way I
got a
it's
question for you.
because of the way I deal and the way I put everything like this. This is the box. This is the relationship. This is the box. This is where you at. Cool. This is the box. This is the relationship. This is where you at.
So
cool.
then, what would be in the best friend box? Like, what would even be in the best friend box?
My best friend box is a very okay. What you say? What you say earlier? We gonna go rob the bank, something like that on that level.
Ride or die.
Ride or die. I have like y'all two are the closest things to I have best friends, but
So
I know y'all wouldn't go. And if we gonna rob a bank, we not gonna go rob a bank. But I'm just saying,
Metaphorically speaking,
right? We're not gonna go rob a bank. I know, but to me,
no response is a response.
No response is a response. I'm telling you, no response is a response.
Like, we not robbing a bank,
Right. But no, my thing is, for me, best friend falls into that category, and this is all somewhat off the subject, but we in it. Of commonalities, communication style, someone you can be completely open, transparent with no matter what. I don't feel like I have that.
With
well,
Angie?
I mean, I feel like.
And if I say yeah, I'd be lying.
I feel like I can be open and transparent.
I can be myself. I can be relaxed, but I have to have a certain level of guarding in all people and all things.
I understand what you're saying. So I don't want you to feel defensive, and I don't want you to be guarded. Okay.
Okay.
So therefore, bring the walls down a little bit.
Go ahead.
All right. So who do you feel the most vulnerable with?
With her.
That's your best friend.
No. No. That is the person. That's the person I could be the most vulnerable. Yes, I agree with that statement.
Okay.
But the best friend, again, the commonalities, the commonness, the that I don't have that.
What do y'all have in common?
Kids, family, love, home. We built a life together.
Friends.
We are friends.
Best friends.
We don't have common things, and
So
we don't have nothing in common. Okay.
Whoa.
We don't have.
Time out. You just said out of your mouth
interest.
that
Okay.
we're friends.
We
so
are.
why don't you put that pronoun in
I'm not going to.
and say best friend?
I'm not going to.
Because he said he ain't using pronouns.
Okay,
I ain't doing it. That's my wife. I feel like, okay, put it like this then. I feel like if you had levels to it, wife would be here, best friend would be here.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
That's how you feel, I was just asking because I wanted clarity and how you. This is why, and like I said before,
communication.
This is why I communicate with people to see if I can learn from the other person's experiences. This is why I ask you questions.
My thing has always been, okay, a best friend, and to me, a best friend should be a male.
Okay.
That's for me. I couldn't have a best friend female and have a wife. Yeah, they can wear the same hat.
Gotcha.
But I couldn't. Calvin Hill has a compartmentalized mind to where he puts everything in a certain category in a certain way. So I treat wife above everybody else. Best friend, side partner, let's go take over the world, and I got a wife. Well, I don't know, man. I'm crazy. I get it.
You're not crazy. You're just different. That's all.
I get it.
And I
I'm
respect
okay
that.
with it.
Everybody different.
I respect that.
I like what I. Go ahead.
You like your results.
I
man.
like my results.
So what do we have next up here?
All right, communication. We knocked that one out with the women.
Culture.
So culture and
women.
Yeah, culture has the culture, and women changed over the years. Do you feel like in 2023, the culture, the women navigating the workplace was my go-to, and how they navigate from what you've seen and experienced, has that changed from like when I worked at Chick-fil-A, it was a lot different.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, back in the day. Excellent place to work as a teenager.
Shout out to fried chicken.
Yeah, as a
God's chicken.
customer service through the roof. But from then to now, the environments have changed, especially like in the military. When I got in the military, and the culture for women was very rough, very sexist. We had butt naked pictures of women on the walls in the shops,
advertisements.
It was completely different than what it was now.
Because they knew that sex sells. That's all.
In the military, what they got how is selling it in the military?
Oh, in the military?
In the shop. We talking about in the shop.
No. Sex. I mean, sex does sell.
we sell it.
Where was you at the last 15 seconds?
All right. So has it changed? Has the culture for women changed in the workplace? I'm starting in the workplace. Keeping it.
Go ahead.
In the workplace, I think it has changed because
You're all in a different type of workplace. Though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We in the military atmosphere.
Yeah. It hasn't changed in the military.
You think it ain't changed? I think it changed a lot.
I mean, it's changed. However, it is still some things that remain in place as far as rank structure and how some are promoted and some are not. Because you still have the system, the good old boy system XYZ, that would affect that. I believe there's still things. I have conversations with female Navy,
and they say it's still the same. It hasn't changed. So you think the sexism
is the only thing that changed? They took the pictures down.
The environment, so it's still there.
It's still there.
They just changed
because the nature of the people.
Down.
The nature of the people is still there.
Yeah, the nature of the people is still there.
That didn't, just because you told them they couldn't put pinups up anymore doesn't mean that human nature changed.
So just because you take the Confederate flag down, don't mean that racism didn't change. I'm sorry.
That's true, but the problem is nobody asked them to take it.
Why?
Well, they did.
Okay, so that's the same thing.
Why?
Because he want to get me riled up. That's all that is. He want to get me going. It ain't even got nothing to do with this topic. And he want to get me going.
So taking the pictures down.
Consolation prize, Confederate flag removed, trash.
Go ahead, man. All the sexual harassments and all this other stuff.
A lot of that has not changed, and I see it because of some of the accounts I follow on social media. I see it all the time that that women are still being taken advantage of and sexually assaulted and other things while they're in the service, and there is no justice whatsoever against. Do
you feel like they're not being respected the same, and even in their leadership roles? Like they're women in charge. They're women in charge. They hold the positions. So do you feel like some women are not being respected or treated the same if they were a man?
Yes, and it's not just there. I mean, I can point to examples in my own life of times where I've seen it in sales, in business, and in all of these other areas where they were just better and weren't given the same level of respect.
Factual. That's factual. Yep.
Even in the military. Okay, so all right, let's deal with a military environment, and then you said yours is more of a civilian professionalism and everything else.
Right.
So even in that environment, the women in your workplace are not being treated the same, or with a level of respect that they deserve.
Now, as a whole, yes. Now, in the last two places I've been, they were essentially women-led organizations. So, like one of them, there were only 4 men in the building, like total. So you couldn't. There wasn't somebody to. Then it was just woman on woman disrespect. But it wasn't necessarily because they were a woman they were being disrespected. It might have been it might have been personal. You were talking to my husband the other day, and I saw you in the parking lot. All that kind of stuff to go on. But I have seen it in sales environments and sales organizations where when somebody who's a woman might get up to train, men start leaving the room.
Oh, wow.
Just walking out the room, going somewhere else. Like, I ain't listening to no women. I'm not following women's leadership. Wow. And that still happens in 2023 to this day. To this day.
So that answers your question, sir. Civilian side, military side,
whatever
same side you look at, it's pretty much the same.
But it's like
just a different face.
Somebody said you can't legislate the heart.
You can't legislate the heart.
I can't remember who said it, but you can't legislate the heart. And so people, until something happens to people that causes them to change, they're gonna stay the same. Just what it is.
All right, man. We gotta go. So we're gonna deal with this again.
Okay.
We gotta deal with this again.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because we just started getting to that issue of women. I thought, and I'm gonna ask a couple young ladies. I'm gonna ask a couple women at my job. Do you feel like you respected in your leadership? I know the pay. What am I trying to say?
The pay
scale?
The pay, yeah. I know
grade,
there's a discrepancy there. I know there's a discrepancy
that's been there
but
for a while.
That should change. I think women should be paid what they're the same position.
You should be paying
what that position is.
doing the job.
Some are not. I know that.
Get less pay, basically.
But, all right, we'll get into that. We'll get into it.
Yep. Any closing thoughts?
Women, we love you. That's all I got for you.
Hey, happy Women National Month. We appreciate you.
That's what it is.
Women National Month?
No, not Women National Month.
History. I'm sorry.
Women History Month.
Lord, man.
Happy Women History Month.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me today. But anyway, we love you. We appreciate you. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on pressing. And we'll see you next time. Anybody else?
We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.